Boom, 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 boom. Go live. Okay. I think we're live. Hey everyone, I hope we're live. I hope I'm not talking to myself. This is my first ever stream, so being my first stream on my tiny channel, I don't even know if we're gonna have any live viewers, but regardless, the video is gonna stay there and you can see it anytime. Topic for today is the link between motivation and self-organization and self-discipline on the other hand. And when I talk about motivation, I talk about how do we take care of our own motivation. I am not referring to how other people can motivate us, how the environment can motivate us, all the external factors. I am referring to what we can do to influence our own motivation for the better. Because I think at the end of the day, we should all own our own motivation and be responsible for it. So, on one hand, there's a lot of conversation about motivation. There's many theories of motivation. There's many people talking about how to motivate yourself and motivate other people. And in a different area, a lot of people talk about time management and discipline and being organized and being disciplined and stoic and things like that. And today I want to link these two concepts and explore how and to what degree, if we get more self-organized and more self-disciplined, that can impact our self-motivation for the better. So that is the topic for today. And I will explore two concepts. And the first one is, let me put myself in the corner of the screen and start using these notes. The difference in the relationships between stress and pressure. And I think this is a topic that a lot of people don't differentiate it. And that is a problem, and let's dive a little bit into it. So what is stress and what is pressure? Let's take an example. Let's say I have 10 things to do today. I have a certain workload for today. Is that stress or is that pressure for me? And the difference is how much control I have. Let's say I have a lot of work. Let's say it's a very busy day. Let's say it's a difficult day. Let's say that some of the things that I have to do today are important. So if I get them wrong, there will be consequences. So there's high stakes. I'm working on important things. I have a lot of things to do. It's a difficult day. But if I feel that if I am in control of it, if I have a little plan, if I understand what I have to do, if I know why I'm doing it, if I feel confident that I know what I'm doing, I am not necessarily going to feel stressed. I will feel pressure, intensity, because I'm working on important things with consequences, but I am not going to feel stress. So if I feel pressure, that can actually be a motivating factor. It's a privilege to feel pressure when you're working on important things with consequences and you have to perform. But you know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. That is usually a motivating factor. However, if for the same amount of workload, if I don't feel like I'm in control, if I feel like different people want different things from me and I don't understand why, and I'm anxious about all kinds of things, like I think, I'm going to do this task, but then they're not going to be happy about it and they will want more changes. If I have that feeling of, I don't know what's happening, I don't know who wants what from me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, then I will feel stress. And stress is demotivating. And how do we feel one as opposed to another, right? Is the key question. How do we increase the amount of pressure that maybe we feel, but decrease the amount of stress? And the answer is there's many, many things, including, for example, communication, because the better you are able to talk to the people who give you work and to negotiate with them and to agree on things with them, the better you will feel in control. But from the point of view of the topic that we are discussing today, which is self-organization and self-discipline, Obviously, the more organized we are, the more in control we feel. Because if we have basic things like, a list of priorities, an idea about how, we're going to do things, an idea about how much time it's going to take us, if we don't leave things for the last minute, if we kind of prepare a little bit ahead of time, and we control, we have more organization and more control over what we do, the less stressful the situation we're in are going to feel, and the more motivated we are going to be. So that is a first connection between self-organization and self-motivation. If we do basic self-organization things, like really basic stuff, like have a list of priorities and use a little bit of single tasking, don't do so much multitasking and just focus on one task and get it done. Simple things like, a list, a calendar, use the basic time management tools. You don't have to be like 100%, you don't have to do it like to an extreme, you don't have to plan every minute of your day, but just even a basic amount of that kind of stuff is going to increase our feeling that we are in control of what we have to do. Because we can anticipate better, we can control better, we can plan better. And if we feel more in control, we're going to feel more motivated. It is as simple as that. It's not rocket science, it is as simple as that. So this is the difference between stress and pressure, and this is the first way in which, by increasing our own self-motivation, we will increase our, by increasing our own self-organization, we increase our self-motivation. And I encourage you to use this for other people as well. If you're any kind of leadership management coaching position where you have to coach other people, and sometimes they will come to you or you will see that, hey, they're demotivated, they're unhappy, they're not managing to do what they have to do. Look at what's happening in their situation. And a lot of the times you are going to see that the fundamental problem is that they're overwhelmed. It's not necessarily the nature of the things they have to do, but the fact that they're overwhelmed. They've lost control. They don't know what's happening. They don't know who wants what from them. They don't have the confidence that they can do it. Things coming from all directions, they barely survive. And they're in this situation, they're in a stressful situation, and in this situation, you're going to be demotivated no matter what, So sometimes the best thing you can do to help someone increase their motivation is help them be more organized. And that's the first topic. And the second topic for today is going to be this idea of, and they're related, locus of control, which is a psychological concept, and this is the Wikipedia page about it, is the degree to which people believe that they, as opposed to external forces, have control over events in their lives. So they give a few examples in this picture, for example, of an external locus of control. And an external locus of control mentality is when you feel that you don't control the outcomes of what's happening to you. So you feel powerless, you're just like, like a leaf floating in the wind, and you're just going wherever the wind blows, and you don't control anything that's happening to you or the consequences of what's happening to you. And anytime something happens, good or bad, you attribute that to external factors. If you do something well, you're going to say, oh, it was easy. If you don't manage to do something, if you fail to do something, you're not going to take ownership over that and say, I'm going to do better next time, I'm going to prepare better next time. You're going to say, oh, it was too difficult, or it was unfair. So you either credit or blame all kind of external circumstances for what's happening to you. An internal locus of control would be when you take ownership over those things, and you can't control events, you can't control what's happening around you, but you can control how you react to those things and how you manage those things and how you prepare to those things. And in time, you can influence them. So that's an internal locus of control. And just like stress versus pressure, this is more than self-organization. It's attitude, communication again, and a bunch of other things. But today's topic, the link between self-organization and self-discipline and self-motivation, the more self-organized you are, the more prepared you are, the more proactive you are, the more you will be able to increase your internal locus of control. Because these things are not absolute, right? They're relative. The same person two different people put in the exact same situation, right? Same workload, same context. One of them may feel like, hey, I'm in control, I know what's happening, I can handle it, I'm loving this thing. And the other person may feel like, I don't know what's happening here, it's chaos, I don't understand anything, I'm stressed, I'm demotivated. So how do we help the second person become more motivated? And sometimes there's a difference of skill, of course, and experience, but even people of the same level of skill and of the same level of experience, if you don't plan a little bit, if you don't prepare a little bit, if you don't organize yourself a little bit, then you will frequently find yourself be surprised by events. Oh, this is happening. Oh, the other thing is happening. Oh, he wants that from me. Oh, she wants that from me. Everything is going to be like last minute and kind of a surprise. And some people deal well with that kind of, everything last minute kind of thing, but most people don't. And you're going to feel like, hey, all this chaos around me is happening and it's, ruining my day. And that's an external locus of control. Like, you imagine yourself like, I have no power over what's happening and why are all these things happening and I don't have control and I'm unhappy and I'm demotivated. But if you have an internal locus of control, you're going to feel like you can manage those things better. And you will manage those things better by being a bit more self-organized. So that's it for today. Very simple topic. The idea with these streams is I'm just going to stream for like 15-20 minutes during the work day, so you can watch it in your lunch break or something. If there's any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I don't expect a lot of questions in the beginning. I hope in the time more people are going to view these streams and we can have some conversation there. But remember this, when you feel demotivated or when you're trying to help someone else go through their, overcome a demotivated state and get more motivated, don't just look at the traditional things like, do you like what you're doing or that kind of stuff. That's very important. But also look at how organized they are. Because if they're disorganized, that may be the root cause of their demotivation. Because if they're disorganized, that means that they don't feel like they control anything that's happening to them. Everything is like a surprise to them. Everything is last minute. Everything is, oh, why is this happening now? And that could be the fundamental cause of their demotivation. So in a way, unintuitively, the way to become more motivated is to use a little bit of time management. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Thanks everyone for joining. I see we actually have 10 people live, and thank you so much. That's great for my first stream. I hope this was